Well, after quite a bit of struggle, I got the middle section of the back seat out. Problem was it's got a row of screws that go through this sheet of plywood from the engine side, which those are no big deal. But it also has screws that come through actually from this side inside the pocket, and they come out right here into the front edge of it. And trying to get back in there is a real bear. And on this side, there's one, you can actually see part of the screw still there. The head of it was so sunken into the wood, they had just driven it home, that it didn't want to come out, and it was just spinning and tearing up the wood. And I actually had to break out the big guns, get out the Sawzall, cut it out. So with the sad condition this plywood's in, it's going to be the next thing out. I think I've got it all unbolted here. It's all loose, so I'm going to try lifting that out, and then I've got some fresh plywood. I'm going to screw that in and see if I can't make this thing a little bit better. Well, looks like I found all the screws and none of them are hiding, so I got the plywood out for our engine compartment there. As you can see, the motor in this boat's actually pretty darn clean. They said it had a rebuilt motor put in it a few years back, and I would say the lack of filthiness kind of attests to that being true. I should probably change out those fuel filters at some point. They're kind of nasty, but overall, everything's pretty clean. Over there, we got a water tank that actually feeds our sink that's up there in the dash, which looks like at some point they wired in. It looks like an aftermarket inline fuel pump, like an automotive fuel pump. It's dead now. I'm debating what I want to do, if I want to get another pump and actually make that thing work. Not really sure what purpose a sink would serve in this boat, but who knows, maybe I'll decide to make it work. Can at least leave the plumbing in there, because it doesn't take up any space really. But I'm going to take that old piece of plywood there and head into the shop, trace it out, cut us a new one. Here's the old, I guess you'd call it a firewall. That's plywood, so it's not going to stop any kind of fire, but this is the front of the engine compartment off of the boat, and obviously you can see here there's some spots where it's not in very good shape. I have a sneaky suspicion, looking around at a lot of the wood in the engine compartment, that this boat may have partially flooded at some point and been sitting with the back really low in the water, because the only place I see any kind of nasty wood rot is just in the back. And you can actually kind of see in this part a line going across, though the seat was screwed on there too, so that may just be the line from where the seat was attached. But anyway, there's really not much wood in the back of the boat. This is the biggest piece. So I got a new piece of plywood, and I've traced it all out with Sharpie there. So I'm gonna get out the saw and cut us a new piece. And with a little magic from our saw, new panel, old panel. Not rotten. Trash. Well, I did a bit of cleaning in there and got all the ropes and paddles and junk out from underneath the seat, and actually got the shop vac in there and vacuumed everything out, so now it's like actually nice and clean. When I was in there, I realized that my belts on the motor for the power steering and the alternator were both just frighteningly loose. So I went ahead and tightened them up. The power steering one is still a little looser than I would like, but it is all the way to the end of its travel. So soon enough, I'll probably be putting a new belt on there. But glad I did this now, because that alternator one is the bolt's way down in that hole there. And once I put this panel back on, it's going to be kind of a pain in the ass to get down in there to it. So glad I caught that now. And So I am actually going to switch to the GoPro. I'm going to try and get some actual footage of me doing work rather than just talking about before and after. So we'll see how that goes. Got my new panel cut out. Got a bunch of new hardware and gonna slide it in and cross my fingers that it fits. And yeah, see how it goes. Well, I'm good and sweaty now, but I got the new engine box put back together. All new stainless hardware. I dropped the new seat back in there, which I finished up last night. You can see how the seat just sits right on top of the front firewall there. And then these guys are all screwed into it as well, so that board also supports our storage little cubby bucket things that drop in there. And oh yeah, finished up the seat back last night. Got the stripes on there. That was the last little touch on that piece. So now I can do the lower section of the seat back, and then that seat will be done. And then we just got to finish up the side panels, and that's really all there is left to do in this boat.